Action RPGs are lovely things, and were one of the really big steps upward in video game quality that materialised towards the end of the 80s with landmark games such as The Legend of Zelda and Handheld, really peaking in the 90s with things like A Link to the Past and Illusion of Gaia. And while perhaps not as prominent as turn-based or battle-style RPGs, this sort of game never really went away. We've already covered Roland's Curse, a title in this style that preceded Link's Awakening by a good 3 years. But one of the earliest examples of action RPG came in 1984 in arcades, the Tower of Druaga. Sure, you could be forgiven for never having heard of this game, as it was only ever released in Japan, and as RPGs go, it's pretty rudimentary, but there are plenty of precursors to these later classics that we know so well. The storyline and atmosphere are right out of an RPG, that's for sure, but other than that, it's probably more action, as there are only a handful of character improvements to be made. You play as the knight Gilgamesh, I'm not sure if there's any real reference to the Sumerian king apart from the name, and you're tasked with climbing a large 60-story tower, possibly a reference to the Tower of Babel. You guessed it, you have to rescue the Maiden Key. This is definitely a reference to every video game ever, from the clutches of the evil demon Druaga. You come equipped with a sword and a shield. You can use this sword in a similar way to how Link uses his. You can slash with it, but also hold it out in front of you and spear enemies by running into them. The shield is only useful in repelling magic attacks, of which there are many, and you can't use it while holding the sword out. But as long as you're facing the magic, it's automatic. Basically, each floor has a maze layout, within which you need to find a key to unlock the door to the next stage. Meanwhile, you have to either fight or avoid the enemies that are wandering around, and these get progressively tougher. These keys and doors, while technically not positioned randomly, are in one of a handful of predetermined locations per stage, so each playthrough will be different. There is a time limit per stage, and other items hidden around to aid your progress. There is an axe which you can use to smash through a wall should you get cornered, and some boots that make you run faster. Also, there is a blue crystal rod somewhere, I'm not telling you where, this isn't an FAQ, that you need in order to be able to fight the final demon. One thing that needs to be kept in mind is your health. It doesn't regenerate completely after every floor, so don't think you can just tank your way through a stage. You get a bit of it back, as if Gilgamesh is taking a breather on the stairs, but to get it back entirely takes a health drop or a few floors of really careful playing. There are mini-bosses every 10 floors, which do help to regain all your life. This game is a pretty faithful port of a 1984 game, so as you should expect, the graphics are fairly rudimentary. They're not bad though, everything is clear and functional. Sound-wise, the Tower of Druaga is very good actually, with some nice medieval-sounding tunes that wouldn't be out of place in a Wizards and Warriors title. The sound effects, while few, are decent. As previously mentioned, this game was only ever released in Japan, but it did come out in two forms. There was a standalone cartridge that came out in 1990, but you can also find it on the 1996 release Namco Gallery 2, also a Japanese exclusive. So, you will have to import the Tower of Druaga to play it on an actual cartridge, but with the compilation you'll also get Galaxian, Dig Dug, and Super Famicom 4, a Super Famicom game that you play on your Super Game Boy, and it seems to be a little more common, so I'd go for that one. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below, and if you can spare a second, give the review a quick thumbs up, it really helps out. Subscribe to the Portable Power Podcast for a new Game Boy review every day from Monday to Friday. Or alternately, new episodes of the podcast drop every Saturday and Sunday on whichever platform you get your pods. See you later on.